Hi, I'm Mark from L&M Small Engine. Today we're working on a Craftsman rider, the T1400. The spring, like back in, I think it was like the first part of May or something, this came in. I did a video on it. It had gas in the oil, and the customer didn't know nothing about it. And I showed it to him. And anyways, the carburetor was leaking. Anyways, I flushed it out. I changed oil in it twice, and they mowed. I think he said like eight or nine times. And this last time he mowed, it's almost the end of July now. He's mowing. And he's almost done with his lawn, and all of a sudden it quit running. So he brought it back, and we're just gonna check some things out. It either could be maybe the head or maybe the head gasket. But what it's doing now is on the compression, it's leaking. It's going back up in the carburetor. So we're gonna do a compression test. We'll probably do a vacuum test and probably just tear the head off and see what's going on. So hope you enjoy the video. Okay, I got the plug out. Let's give it a compression test real quick. This has that decompression low on the cam, so we'll see what it does here. I got the parking brake on and everything. See how my fingers are going back and forth? Well, it says 90 pounds. It should be way higher than that, but that could be that decompression lobe on the cam working. Now we're going to hook this up to it. This is from Briggs & Stratton. You put this in the spark plug, hook this up to your air hose, and we're going to see if it's going to be blowing air in the crankcase. Clear out the carburetor. I'm going to put this in that little black section. We got air coming out of the dipstick here. So it's leaking air inside the motor. Now it's really coming out of there now. So I think it's either the head or the head gasket. But I'm gonna jack the front end up. We'll take the valve cover off, check the gap with the lifters, and just start tearing it down from there. But the rod's not broke. Nothing like that. I don't want to be mean to people and stuff, but a lot of people just put gas in and go. I just call them gas and goers. They never check the oil, because when this started leaking gas in the crankcase, if they would have checked the oil every time they use it, they would notice that it would have been way up here instead of down here. And if you smell it, you'd be able to tell it was gas in there. So we're just gonna start taking her apart. But the oil in the crankcase, it puts a nice thin layer of oil on all the bearings and bushings and everything in there, on the piston rod, on the crank bearings, everything. And then we get gas in there. It's like a solvent. It wipes that. It washes that oil off all the bearings and everything, and that just does so much damage to a motor. That's why when I fix motors, that there's oil and gas mixture in the crankcase, I don't warranty them, because you don't know how long it ran that way. You'll just get to the point that the crankcase will fill up so much full of gas that it actually won't even spin anymore, either because the cylinder's full of gas. So until it happens, people just put gas and go. They never check anything. So we'll see if we can get this back running again. It's a nice lawnmower. Okay, I took the shroud off. I took the muffler off. Now we're going to take the valve cover off, and we're going to check the lifters first. On these motors here, they glue the valve covers on. They don't use gaskets no more. Well, they seem to be adjusted right. Nothing out of the ordinary there. Let's go and take the head off next. Get all these bolts out. Well, the valves look good, but I think it was leaking right in here. That's what I think. Even on air, just feels like it was leaking right in there, and that's kind of like the most common place where these head gaskets fail on these motors. Grab the flashlight, but I don't see any scores or nothing like that on the cylinder wall. Spray some cleaner in there. Cylinder looks actually really good. No scratches in it. The crosshatch is gone, but I think it was just the head gasket. That's what I think. I'm gonna get the wire brush. I'm gonna clean all this old gasket off. Put that rag in there so none of that debris goes inside the engine. Pull these pins out, but we can't lose these. Okay, get the air gun and blow it off really good. Okay, the head gasket I'm gonna use, it's a Briggs & Stratton 273280S. This is for the 31 cubic inch and the 33 cubic inch. You'll fit them both. Go ahead and put our pins back in. You just don't lose these because this is what keeps the head gasket aligned, and that's what lines up the head to the block. Just like that. And on the head here, these little caps pop off. Don't lose these caps. Then I'm gonna take the wire brush and clean the head off a little bit. And we gotta clean the old gasket off of there. And we'll blow it off real good. Set there so the pins lock in. I'm just gonna snug these up. We gotta torque them. Okay, let me go grab the torque wrench. Get that torqued down and put the push rods and everything in. Okay, let's go ahead and torque these. It's 220 inch-pounds or 18 foot-pounds. And we're going to do it like in 3 different segments. We'll start out about 80 inch-pounds. Then we'll go to about 150 or so. Then we'll go to the 220. And we're going to start in the center of the bottom. Then the top center. And we'll go to that one. That one. And just go around. Okay, let's go to 150. Do the same thing again, start in the center of the bottom. Okay, let's go to the full 220 now. I'm gonna put the intake back on. Grab our push rods. I gotta put these little make sure you get them back on there. Now they come out with aluminum push rod and a steel push rod. The steel push rod is for the exhaust. Aluminum is intake. And shine your light in there, make sure they go in the little pin settings in there. Usually you can pop these back on without loosening them up and everything. One goes in easy and one's being stubborn. There we go. And all you gotta do now is just turn your flywheel, make sure the valves see only the top one's going in and out. So we got the bottom one didn't go on that little dimple on the lifter down there by the cam. See how the bottom one's not moving? So it didn't go in that little dimple down there. So we're gonna do it the old-fashioned way: get the Torx and get the wrench. Got our feeler gauges. So let's see if we can get it put in there this time. Hold some tension on that. There now. We got it in there now. Make sure the piston's at top dead center. And what I like to do, I like doing the intake at 0.003, and I like doing the exhaust at 0.005. And then we go ahead and tighten that. That one's a little bit loose. Okay, now I'll do is put the valve cover back on and the exhaust and spark plug and see if this thing runs. Put a nice coat on there. The exhaust gasket's still in good shape. Now you gotta put that little bolt in for that hanging bracket for the muffler. I'm debating if I should put that muffler guard on now or make sure the son of a gun runs. I'll have to take a chance and put that guard on, I guess. Okay, now the spark plug. Okay, let me get off the jacks and we'll start her up. Hopefully it starts up. Okay, took it off the jack stands. You don't want to start up the front of the motor way up in here like that. Okay, got the back too tight. Oh yeah, put that little 1/4-inch screw in over here. Got a new air filter. Okay, well, let's start up before I put the hood on, make sure it runs. Let's turn the gas on. I'm gonna double check the oil before we start it up. And it's right on full. Smell it, make sure you don't smell no gas. Okay, got the clutch all the way in, brake on. Put on choke. Okay. This happens a lot on these 31 cubic inch and 33 cubic inch. If it leaks gas in the crankcase and stuff, it seems like right in here. So you can see that's where the It was seeping in there. That's why I was kind of backfiring through the carburetor. So this side I was good. But this side, that's where so we were losing our compression, and I put that air in the spark plug, and air was coming out of the dipstick hole because of that right there. Let me get this hood put on here. And once I get it started up, I'm gonna let it run about 20-25 minutes. This makes get that head gasket all sealed up good in there and everything. Get this hood on. Get these lights hooked up. Well, I just purse. Anyways, if you have something like this going on, I hope this video helps you out. Appreciate you watching. If you like my videos, please press the like button and please subscribe. Anyways, you guys have a good afternoon.